Member for Kiharu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just rise to give a few comments. One is that healthcare is very important for the development of any economy. And actually, Honorable Speaker, in many respects, when we talk about healthcare, education is always just around there, because these are social investments which are basically used to build a good working capacity for any nation. While education adds value, just in manufacturing where it adds value, Honorable Speaker, to the primary produce, what education does is to add value to the working force. But also what healthcare does is actually to service the working force or the labor force. And therefore they are very integral even when you look at it in terms of purity or Puritan economy, Honorable Speaker. But there are issues that continue to handicap, and especially delivery of quality healthcare to our country, as has been said before by my colleagues, one being access, but also number two being quality, Honorable Speaker, and access majorly meaning a cost that is involved in seeking quality healthcare in our country. And Honorable Speaker, the other thing that is critical for us to keep thinking about is that when we appropriate money, we are basically showing the signs on the kind of service we want delivered in the country. And Honorable Speaker, I see it as a paradox that healthcare is is actually basically a fully devolved function. But when you look at the appropriation of the money that we give to our counties, vis-a-vis the money that remains in the national government, Honorable Speaker, that leaves a lot to be desired. And I think we need to walk the talk in terms of devolving even the funds and the resources that are needed for our county governments and our governors to be able to provide quality and accessible healthcare in our country. Honorable Speaker, we also have to think about healthcare as dynamic. We have seen in many countries, Honorable Speaker, that R&D budget for healthcare is always adequate, because the challenges that we face in regards to healthcare, Honorable Speaker, is dissipated by new inventions within the industry. And what makes that possible is the budget for research and development, which, Honorable Speaker, can go in many ways. One can be directly provided by the government, but also number two is to give incentives for even private healthcare facilities to be able to invest in R&D by giving them, Honorable Speaker, incentives even around taxes. Because whatever they do, if you get a reprieve which is cheaper and more efficient in terms of provision of health, that then becomes a public good, Honorable Speaker. And therefore it is no longer an asset of the people who invested in it. It becomes a public good for all the citizenry. And Honorable Speaker, that is what we ought maybe to do in terms of policy, that even the private facilities are given an incentive to do better, to come up with better methods, to come up with better reprieve, because ultimately, Honorable Speaker, that becomes a public good. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, it is important that all of us as people who serve the public, that we must continually always show confidence in the facilities that we provide monies for, even in this house. And Honorable Speaker, it's always an oxymoron that most of the public officers have insurances that cover them outside the public facilities. And Honorable Speaker, we should be the people who should be championing for quality service in those public facilities. It is important, Honorable Speaker, that all public facilities, and especially those who are covered using government resources, that we show confidence in public health facilities by seeking services there, Honorable Speaker, when they are needed. Because it is in that line, Honorable Speaker, that we are able to see the challenges that happens in the public facilities, so that as we legislate, as we provide resources, we are doing it from the point of knowledge. And Honorable Speaker, that goes in line with many developed countries, including the United Kingdom, where even the public servants, including the Prime Minister himself or herself, in that case, Honorable Speaker, they promote national health services, famously known as NHS. Because when you provide the best quality service there, Honorable Speaker, and you are the one leading the population, then the best way to show confidence is when you need those services, Honorable Speaker, then you seek them from the point where you lead. And since you lead the public, then public facility ought to be given a dab of confidence by channeling all the health officers, Honorable Speaker, to be able to seek services in the public facilities. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity and I submit.
Thank you. The Honorable Karoli Omondi, member.